Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while since we stepped into the basketball world, and we are so happy to be joined by this special guest today. Born and raised in Sudbury, Ontario, this apparent iced coffee lover has been representing Sudbury basketball proud all over the world. Out of Lockerbie High School, she took her talents to Fairfield University to play for the Stags. And after a redshirt rookie year, she took the college basketball scene by storm, averaging a double-double in her senior year, racking up accolades each and every year. She's gone pro in Luxembourg, Sweden, Greece, and France, making us proud Northern Ontarians. Please welcome Samantha Cooper to the Behind the Bench podcast. How you doing?
Wow, that was great. Thank you. How are you guys?
We're doing great. We're so happy to have you on. So what are you up to right now, Sam, and where are you at?
Yeah, so I'm currently in Tarbes, France. It's actually very nice. It's right on the Spanish border.
Yeah.
So we've had some really great weather. Lots of palm trees too, which you wouldn't expect in France, but
Huh.
it is what it is. But yeah, it's been great. The basketball here is awesome. So I moved here mid-February, and it's been a great experience for me. I've really enjoyed my time here for sure.
Good stuff.
And usually what we do with our guest, we usually start Sam right at the start. So who got you into basketball? What age did you start playing?
Oh gosh, I guess I was serious starting in like grade 5. How old are you in grade 5? I don't even know.
I'm gonna
That's
say
a good
11.
question. I don't even know.
I'm gonna say maybe not 11, 8, 9
You're
years
around
old.
there, like 10?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
probably I'd say 11, 10, 11. So yeah, I guess I started then. My first coach was John DeZarmo. He's a Sudbury guy. Yeah, so he really got me into it. He pushed me pretty hard when I was young, and I've just rolled with it ever since, really.
Awesome. That's awesome. And well, I know your brother that I mentioned to you before we started filming. He was a hockey player. Did you ever try playing hockey and putting the skates on, or was basketball always your sport?
Yeah, I tried a little bit of everything. Hockey, I was not good. I still when I go home. So for Christmas, I went home this year, and I still skate, but I can't stop for some reason. I'm just really bad at stopping. So yeah, hockey was a no-go because it's just not my thing, I guess.
That's too good. And
Love
Jim,
it.
this is the first story I have that I got from Tyler. I actually almost pissed my pants when I heard it. So going into a little bit of the high school days, I heard you ran cross country from him, and I actually watched that video on the website. So what happened in that cross country run? Because from what I've heard, you the person beside you got hit by a deer or something. Run us through that whole story and what
Yeah.
happened and what your reaction was.
Oh my, it was friggin' insane. So it's grade 9, we're just running up this hill. It was in Toronto too, this busy area. So I'm running up this hill, my head's down, just kind of look up. And a girl, I think she was 4 places ahead of me. All of a sudden, I hear kind of a scream. So I look up, and this deer comes out of nowhere and just hits her.
Oh my God.
Going. And some people are stopping. I'm like, I'm getting out of here. I'm going. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no
I'm
kidding.
not leaving, what if it turns around. Anyway, she ended up finishing the race. Great for her.
Oh my God.
Broke her collarbone. It hit her so
Jesus.
hard she broke her collarbone. Yeah. So that was I think that was the last time I did cross country. I think after that year I was okay,
I'm done. I'm done. I'm not getting trucked by a deer.
Oh my God.
yeah, but yeah, crazy.
What part of the race was it? Did she have a lot of running left, or was it just 400 meters left?
I want to say it was 3/4 of the way done. So still enough.
Yeah.
For her to finish that, that's difficult. So
Oh my
yeah.
God. That's wild. Unreal. Okay, so back to basketball. For you, Sam, was there a point in time for you where you're like, okay, I want to pursue this thing, I'm good at it, I want to, make a living out of it. And yeah, what was there a specific moment for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like you said, my freshman year was super tough. I went there, had these high hopes to play D1, and after coming off summer with the national team, then I ended up having to get knee surgery on both my knees, and it was just devastating. So then I'd say my 2 years playing after that, it was difficult because I really had to come back in rhythm at a high level. But I'd say it was my senior year in university that I had a really good season, and it was after that I was kind of you know what, this has been my goal since I've been young. and I didn't think that I'd be able to move on after university after my freshman year.
Hmm.
And now I feel like like I totally can, and I'd love to give it a try. So that was when I was like, you know what, like let's go for it. Like let's see what's out there. So that was it.
Wow. Interesting. You know, it's funny. Like a lot of people we've interviewed, they've kind of known like their moment was very early on
Mm-hmm.
in their time starting. So that's pretty cool. Where you like you rebounded and then you're like, yeah, I feel like I'm ready to go. That was just wicked. Just before getting into college, obviously playing in Sudbury, you know, you played for Lockerbie, you averaged 25 points and 10 boards, no big deal. So was it hard to get exposure to go D1? Like, what was the process like? I know you played for Team Ontario and Team Canada Juniors. So what was that process like going D1 from Sudbury?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. It was more difficult, but like really my exposure came from when I played with the national team and with Team Ontario.
Right.
Um, just because, yeah, like in Sudbury it's difficult. Like we played in tournaments in Toronto, so I was seen by Canadian schools that way. But all my American exposure came from, you know, outdoor, like out of country tournaments with the national team, or when I played with Team Ontario and we'd go to like Michigan for a tournament in Chicago and kind of like that. So it's definitely hard. Like I really feel for us northern kids
Yeah.
because, you know, if you can't be part of a camp that or a team that really exposes you to especially the state schools, it's really difficult. So yeah, I'm very grateful for both the national and the provincial teams.
Okay, cool. That's interesting. And did you know of anyone else from Sudbury, like in girls basketball or even in men's basketball that went D1? Like, were you looking up to anyone from here, like on their pathway, or you kind of had to pave the way for yourself?
Yeah, well, I knew Christina Lone is only, I think, 3 years older than me.
Okay.
So I knew that she had gone to the States, so that I was kind of going off like what she had done a little bit and how
Mm-hmm.
it was possible. And also when I was at Lockerbie, Ty Traore, she
Okay.
was a really good player. So and she went to McGill. So
Okay.
I knew kind of, you know, there were both routes, and there's not really a right answer or a wrong answer. If you go to States, you go to
Mm-hmm.
Canada, you know, there's good programs both ways. So it was definitely nice that I had people ahead of me that really moved on and that succeeded. So it made me feel like I could do it too, you know?
Awesome. Cool.
Awesome, yeah.
Cool.
And then you commit to Fairfield. Like what sold it for you? Was it the campus that was nice? Was it like the program that they were offering? Obviously, basketball has a huge part of it, but what really sold it for you to go there?
Yeah, it was a little bit of everything to be honest. So that was my first official visit I took on my own because of like NCAA rules. My parents couldn't come.
Wow.
So that was, I guess, my first like university experience, you know, where I was like on my own out there. But the campus was beautiful. It was a mile from the beach and it was 40 minutes from New York City. So that sold me.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And also a lot of schools actually, so I was a biology major, and a lot of schools when I visited said like you can't be a biology major because you'll miss too many labs with our travel. And Fairfield was one of the only schools that said like we'll help you, like we want you to do what you want to do. And
Right.
that was big on me too because yeah, like, you don't know how long you're gonna play, right? So you
For
need an
sure.
education. So that was more so than the athletics. I think that the academics really sold me in that aspect.
Okay.
For
Cool.
sure.
Yeah. And you finished with a biology degree too?
Yes, so I
Yeah.
have a biology degree and a physics and French minor. So
Wow, there you
Jeez.
go. Yeah, we noticed. You know, you were an academic player, and I think every year, which is awesome. Is there any like, would you want to pursue any of that degree after basketball is done?
yeah, that's been like the hardest part for me is always like if you asked me when I was like 15, I would have said I want to be an eye doctor. I want to be an optometrist. You know, like
Yeah.
I knew it. And even now, like I would still love to do that. It's just difficult because I need to be like in person to do like the
Mhm.
schooling. So you know, I still have these high like aspirations to like use my academics, but I'm like not ready to give up basketball either. So it's like
For
we'll
sure.
find it when it comes time. You know, we'll see.
For sure. And has that French degree helped you right now in France?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like I stepped off the plane and I was like, I understand what my coach is saying. Like awesome. You know? So
I
yeah,
love
it's
it.
been good. Yeah.
Awesome. Good stuff. Okay. So let's move in just before we talk about your first year. So we've read your stats and looked at everything. How would Sam Cooper describe her game? To me and to the boys, I think it looks like you're jack of all trades, very strong at rebounding. So I'll let you take it over. What's Sam Cooper's game?
Yeah, I'd say rebounding for sure. That's like my biggest thing. My shooting has like taken off, so I'd say I'm like a 3-point shooter. That's
Love it.
yeah, my offensive specialty. But I'm also like tall and I can move, so I try to play a little bit outside, but also like post up when I have a smaller opponent.
Hmm.
And in Europe especially, that's been big because they really like players that can kind of play in and out. So that's
Right.
been really my focus the past couple of years.
Cool. Okay.
And we got to do a little content piece with well, I don't know if you can
We'll
shoot
do a 3-point contest
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Sam.
we got to do a 3-point contest.
We got it this summer. We'll do it.
Yeah,
That'd be
I love
awesome.
it. I love it. That's awesome. Okay, so your first year, Sam, obviously a difficult one. How was the process rehabbing for you? I believe you had a couple knee surgeries done. So what was the process for you and getting back into game shape?
Yeah, it was very tough. I guess I just didn't realize, it's not, oh yeah, I need to learn how to run again. No, like I need to learn how to bend my knee again. And
Yeah.
it was really hard. Yeah, so luckily my mom came down for my surgery, because I had them in the States.
Hmm.
She came and like stayed with me for a while, and it was, yeah, every day it was just try to bend your knee a little more. And then I was on crutches so I think I had my first one done in, I want to say January, and then I was
Right.
on crutches like for maybe 8 weeks, and then I had the other knee done.
Wow.
Same thing. So it was, by the time I was cleared, I was just happy to be on a basketball court again and able to play. Like it was
Right.
tough, but now it's very rewarding. Like I feel
For
like,
sure.
what, if I can do that, then I can really deal with any a little ankle sprain or something.
Right.
Like it's not so big anymore.
A
So
100%. Yeah. What was it? ACL surgery that you had done?
no, it was very weird. I had
Yeah.
cartilage that popped off on both of my knees.
Oh
So I
wow.
had a new surgery in the States. It was called de novo,
Okay.
and they put in like a cadaver cartilage. So yeah.
Wow.
So,
Interesting.
yeah, it's been good to me, knock on wood. So
Good. Yeah. Knock on wood for sure.
No
Awesome.
kidding.
Yeah.
And the second year after that injury, you had 4 game winners and 6 double doubles. So how was the knee? And obviously talk about a little bit about that. You're coming back from injury.
yeah, so at first it was tough. I think honestly it was more so tough mentally than physically, just
Mhm.
because I knew certain things I knew I could do, I couldn't yet.
Right.
And that was the hardest part for me, was just staying the course. And and my coach was like, I know that you can score more for us, but I need you to really just play good defense maybe this game. And it's like,
Mhm.
okay, like that's right, like you need to set little goals. And I
Yeah.
think as the season went on and I started feeling more comfortable, and when you come back from an injury too, at first maybe you feel a little something and then you get nervous, but as time goes on you realize I'm okay, like
Yeah.
it's normal. So by the midway point of the season I felt great, and I almost felt like I was 100% again, and from then it kind of just took off. So
Love it. Love it. Yeah. And again, like you said, it kind of took off. You stayed consistent in your third year, just always getting better. Like you just finding your groove, I guess, as the years went on. And I'm sure you got to play more minutes as well. So heading into your senior year. So yeah, were you just finding your groove as you kept going?
yeah, exactly, I just felt more confident. I also chose to stay. So for Division 1, typically you go to summer school,
Right.
and that's usually in July. But I asked to go for June and July, those next 2 summers, just so I could get a little bit more training with the coaches and with the
Yeah.
physios and stuff. And that really helped me get ahead. And I think it also gave my coach more confidence in me,
Mhm.
because I was there every day working. So definitely my last 2 years, like a lot of the plays were ran through me. So that also helps your confidence and your stats, obviously, you know, when the ball's
100%.
in your hands. So that was cool. Yeah.
For sure, yeah. And senior year looked like a blast for you. You had set a career high at Temple with 5 3-pointers, unreal. You led the team with 8 double doubles, finished the year second in the conference in minutes played, playing almost full games, averaging almost full games, which is wild. And you averaged, yeah, double double, and led the conference in rebound, which is unreal. So, how's that fourth year and final year for you?
Yeah, it was awesome. I loved every second of it. It was rewarding for me that, you know, I had such a hard first year and really stuck the course, and you know, I think it all paid off, and that was just, it was really nice. I definitely needed it, and you know, I think everything happens for a reason, and I
Hmm.
think that was the final push I needed to be like, let's try to go pro, and you know, because I felt great. I felt like I was like going up still, and I
Right.
wasn't at the peak of my career yet, so I didn't want to stop, like end on that, but it kind of gave me the confidence to like continue and see what else was out there.
100%. And how did Fairfield kind of like compete in the conference? Were you guys a competitive school?
Yeah, every year we were in like the semis of
Yeah,
the tournament. Yeah, unfortunately we never won the tournament. That would have been, you know, big.
right.
But yeah, every year we were right up there. So it was always like fun because yeah, every team had to take us seriously. So that was good.
Yeah,
That
I
was
like
cool.
it. Like it.
Wait, before Alex, I gotta go here.
Yep.
Before I mentioned that you had a couple of game winners. Is there any shots that stuck out to you in your time in Fairfield? Like you must have had a couple sweet winners that are memorable to you.
Yeah, yeah. There's actually one I'll never forget. I think it was maybe my junior year, and we were at Marist, and they're ranked higher than us, and they have like a great atmosphere. I mean, this is obviously pre-COVID, so it was
Right.
packed. You
Yeah.
know, like they're banging on drums and everything, and we were in the game, and it wasn't really expected that would be, you know, that close at the end. And so I think we were down. Yeah, we were down one, and I got the ball. So coach, you know, called a timeout, drew up a play, and it was either I was supposed to go inside to the girl inside, pass it inside,
Hmm.
but she's double teamed, and I have the ball, and you know, I just was like, all right, so like it's my turn, my time to shine, I guess, you know. So I took like a one dribble pull up and hit it, and that was big. Like we were all just celebrating like all night because it was, yeah, it was Marist. Like for us, it was a huge game. It was like beating Duke, you know.
For
Yeah,
So
that's
sure.
awesome.
it was fun.
And so you just shut the crowd right up.
Right up. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
you know
Yeah.
what? They were very nice fans though, where like they root for both of us somehow. So yeah, so it worked. But yeah,
Yeah, just loved watching good basketball. I love
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Good stuff. So the first Dawson story comes from here. So apparently your senior game, this is what he was telling me. He flew down to come watch you play, and he ended up fouling out in your senior game. He did not even get to watch you play. So you remember that story?
So okay, so this makes sense because he was asking me about senior night the other day, and I was like, "This is a blast from the past. Like, what are you talking about?" But okay, if you know Dawson, you know he's always late, right? Like we always know he's on Dawson time. So first of all, the game's at 2 p.m. He shows up at like 2:45. So you missed the first half. You missed my introduction for my senior night, everything, and unfortunately, you missed the part of the game that I actually played. So yeah, it was unfortunate.
Oh my God, that's gold. That's gold. I
That's too
love
good.
it.
Well, this is not really a story, but I heard from Tyler that you have a piece of, I'm gonna say trophy in my mind at home, back home in Sudbury. You have like a game ball that's framed. Like, what's this ball represent to you? And I know the answer to it, but maybe you have a little story behind it.
Yeah, so it says 1,000 points, and the date that I scored my 1,000 point, which was right before Christmas. And yeah, that was a huge moment for me
No
because
kidding.
we have like a banner at Fairfield on in our gym that of like the 1,000 point scores, and it was just like cool to know that my name will be up there, you know, and
That's awesome.
especially like everything that I went through just with my surgeries and whatnot. I just thought that it was you know, I always loved Fairfield. I still love Fairfield. You know, I wish that I could go visit maybe
Hmm.
this summer. We'll see.
For sure.
Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, it was just like another great aspect of my university career, really.
Yeah,
For sure.
unreal. And I just noticed, like you said, 1,000 points. You almost had 1,000 rebounds too. That's
Yeah.
wild to think about. Just a cool stat to put out there. Um, Other than Fairfield, was there an arena you really liked playing in, where the fans were nuts or anything like that? Was there a team that you visited where you
Yeah,
liked?
I
Yeah,
would say the two craziest. West Virginia, they were pretty crazy. They
yeah.
really get into their sports. We also played at Gonzaga, and they
Wow.
are crazy. They just jump up and down the whole time, and it's incredible. And I mean, it wasn't a very close game either, but
Mhm.
they were still really into it. So that was really cool. Yeah.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So the Fairfield days are a little bit over. Now we're gonna move to like the pro side where you're at now. Like what's the process from school getting to the pro level?
Yeah. So that was like all new to me, obviously my senior year at Fairfield. So I ended up signing with an agent, and really they basically do it for you. So they speak on your behalf to teams and, do contract negotiations and all that kind of stuff. So my agent placed me in Luxembourg my first year, and it was awesome. I think it was a very good place to start because it's a very nice country. It's
Mhm.
not, you're not culturally shocked at all. Everyone speaks English and French, and the way of life is very nice there. So yeah, so that was a great start. And yeah, the agents really make your life easy because they do everything on your behalf, and you say, okay, sounds good, or sign the deal, and that's that. So yeah.
Cool. So you land in Luxembourg. What was that like? I don't know much about the country. So yeah, how was that experience like for you?
Yeah, I didn't know much either. It's super small. Like if you see it
Yeah,
on a map, it's really tiny. But yeah, it was cool because I had a car that year. That was part of my
nice.
contract. Yeah, so I was able to drive to Belgium, Germany, and France all in 30 minutes.
Oh
So like
wow.
one day, if we had a morning practice and we were off in the afternoon, you'd be like, why don't we go at lunch in Belgium? Like
Yeah.
it was awesome. So that was cool. I lived in an apartment where some of our neighbors would come to the games. So that was really cool too because we could interact with them,
Yeah.
after the games. We'd have like a drink or whatever, and
Yeah.
that was really cool. So yeah, I loved Luxembourg. Really, it was great.
Yeah. What a cool experience. That's unreal. So you get your first taste of pro ball. What's the difference and transition from college to pro basketball?
Money.
You get paid, yeah. Yeah, they especially American basketball. I thought it was a big difference.
Mhm.
Because American, I mean, my freshman year we were still playing halves. We weren't switched
Right.
to quarters yet, and
Right.
the 30-second shot clock. So I think the game is a lot faster in Europe, and it's a lot more like transition style, where back in the States, I found like the coaches made a lot of the play calls, and like especially at Fairfield, we had 60 plays. Like we had a lot of plays. But
Mhm.
back in Europe, it was kind of like just play basketball, like set screens and do that. Like we maybe had 4 plays, like that was it. So
Huh.
it was more so a read the game and read and react. And so I really actually enjoyed that because it was kind of like playing pickup in a sense, where
Yeah.
you just play. So that was cool.
Interesting. Interesting stuff. So you go from Luxembourg to Sweden, I believe. So what was that like heading over to Sweden and playing basketball there? Like, was there some in Luxembourg? Like, I don't know if it didn't work out or just advancing another level of basketball to Sweden.
Yeah, no, I loved my time in Luxembourg, and we ended up winning the championship that year. So I think after that, I was kind of like, okay, like I came here and I did what I wanted to do,
Exactly.
So like let's go.
Next challenge. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah,
Like it. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, so I went to Sweden, and it was great. Also loved it. Had a great experience there, and the basketball was very similar. I'd say like really transition based.
Hmm.
but there were two Euro Cup teams in Sweden, which means like they play in the Swedish league, but they also play in a European league.
Right.
So they were like more top caliber.
Right.
So that was fun to play against like good
Big
competition.
team. Right.
So yeah, I really like Sweden. I thought the basketball was similar, but stronger than Luxembourg.
Gotcha. Cool. Okay. And you end up signing in Greece, which is Tom's motherland. So I'll let Tom take it over for the Greece part here.
Yeah, I was just curious of like what part in Greece that you were living at, and like obviously your time there, and like the food, because when I go there every summer, it's just I'm there for the food basically, and obviously the
Oh,
scenic
every
route and to see
summer?
family. But
Oh, that's all. Yeah.
yeah,
I say that. Yeah. Wait, what part of Greece do you go to?
so my parents, well, my family is from like the northern part of Greece, so a little bit north of Athens.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I was in Yanina, which is
Yanina, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
like I was saying, yeah. Loved it. Like you said, the food incredible. The coffee, because I'm an iced coffee person. Freddo, espresso, like incredible. Just
Yeah.
so good. Yeah.
How was the basketball there?
It was good. It was good. I really had a good time. Our team was really solid. Actually, we so the year before I was there, it was their first year in like the first women's league.
Mhm.
So it was kind of like a rebuild, and our year was let's try and finish like top four. Like let's continue to build this club. And they brought in a really strong team when I was there, and we ended up splitting against Panathinaikos in some friendly games. So that was kind of eye opening to like, this team can do some damage. So
Right.
that was a great start. But unfortunately we only played 3 games and then we were postponed because of COVID.
Right.
The league was postponed. So that was tough because we stayed. So I stayed and trained all of November with the team and then went home for Christmas and then went back and trained again. And, we were all just itching to play. Like practice is
kidding.
great and all, but you want to play games,
No
right?
doubt. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, so that was very hard to leave just because Greece was awesome. My teammates were awesome. I still keep in touch with them today. Obviously, the food, the weather, it was great. But, I really wanted to play games. And so I had that conversation with my agent and ended up moving over to France for the end of the season just so I could make sure that I was competing.
Right. For sure. And so, yeah, how was the move to France and how is the plan to go back to Greece if it opens up again? What's the situation like for you right now?
Yeah, so my move to France was good. It all happened very fast.
No kidding.
That's, I guess, how it is. But, I was in practice and then I got out of practice and my agent had sent me a text saying, all right, the deal went through, like pack your bags. You're going to be on a flight in 2 days. So
Wow.
that was, it was quick. But I was grateful that I had the opportunity to go and play in a good league somewhere. And again, just very sad to leave my teammates, but part of it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at this point, we're done. The league in France now, we're finished. So yes, talks are starting for next season, and I'm not sure what my plan is yet. Greece is in the talks for sure because I really enjoyed my time there, so I could see myself going back. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Cool. I like it. Good stuff. It's crazy. Your journey's been crazy. It's like
No kidding.
countries all over the place, which
The nicest
which is,
places too ever.
I
Like,
know it's unreal.
I've been pretty lucky for sure. I've gone to some good places, so yeah, it's been a great ride for sure.
For sure. And I'm not sure like the caliber of basketball and things like that in Europe, but is the WNBA like a goal for you to get to at some point in your career?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to get that call for sure to go to like training camp. I think I don't know if it would be possible just because there's so few teams. There's
It's
only
true,
12
yeah. Right.
teams, 12 players, so it is quite difficult. But yeah, I mean, I think it would be cool. I think this year it was fun because in France, a lot of WNBA players actually come and play in France during their off season.
Right.
So that was fun to at least like get to compete against them and that sort of competition. So that was a cool aspect. But yeah, I mean, it'd be great if the call comes, but we'll see.
For sure. And there's a little thing with this podcast. We call it the BTB bump. So what happens is usually when we have an athlete come on, they kind of soar after they play after they come on our podcast. Like we had Marcus Foligno on. He's been like tearing it up in the NHL ever since he came on. So it's the start of the BTB bump for Sam Cooper. We'll give a knock on wood. You need to tear it up wherever you go. You need to tear it up. And we'd love to like do maybe a little check-in series with you wherever you land. We'd love to have you back on anyways, which would be really cool. Now getting into some general questions. I'll send it over to Mace. This is one question we ask every Sudburyan that's on our podcast. So I'll send it over to Mace.
Well, no, first I'm going to ask, have you ever played basketball in the Sudbury Arena? I know you probably weren't around during when the Sudbury Five started putting their the hardwood down.
No, yeah.
Okay. Well, I know you've been to a Wolves game. Wow, Marble Mill. But I would like to know your take on the stuffed wolf that comes down when the Wolves score. Do you like
love
it? Awesome.
I love it. Yeah.
So
I remember going to the Wolves games and like you would look up after they scored and you'd like wait. Yeah.
Perfect. So we ask everyone if the arena's changed or rebuilt somewhere else, would you like to see that wolf retire with the old arena, or would you like to see it moved on to the new place?
Oh, you have to bring it. Yeah, you have to keep it for sure.
100%. That's been the saying. Everyone's been saying that. I love it. I love it. The
I
wolf.
hope you do. Yeah, you have to. It's like tradition. I don't know. It's like
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I agree with you for sure. Yes, Tom.
Before we get into the iced coffee talk, because I know that might take a little bit of time, like one general question I'm thinking of that's not even written down here in our doc is, so we might do this collab of like the 3-point contest. I was just, as soon as we talked about that, I was just thinking, if I had 50 shots, like how many would I hit? What would I hit? Like, what would you say in 50 attempts, Sam, that you would make? Like, I'm thinking like you would make 37 out of 50. Is that a reasonable amount, or is that too much?
And 50 attempts. Yeah, I mean, I was just shooting today. I think, yeah, when you're by yourself, you should aim for, like as close to 40 as possible. So I'd say like the 35.
We have no chance.
35, yeah.
Gotcha.
70%. Yeah, we have no chance.
No chance. It's funny you mentioned that. Sam, you ever do any work with Eli Pasquale before he passed away? I don't know if you've had the chance to meet him or talk with him.
Yeah, I went to his camp.
Me too.
Yeah. Life Pasquale camp. Yeah. It was awesome. Yeah. And I think his kids were there, right? Like Manny and Isaiah were part of the camp too.
Exactly. Yeah. They were my favorite camps. I remember watching Eli like when he was older, and he just stand at the free throw line. He had 100 in a row, like with both hands. It didn't matter. It was unbelievable. Like as a kid watching that. So
he was a straight baller. Yeah. He was a straight baller, as were his kids. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. General question we ask all the basketball people that we have on: the Jordan and LeBron, obviously is a big debate. What's your take on this GOAT debate with Jordan and LeBron?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge LeBron fan. Not gonna lie, that's like my guy. But you know what? After watching that documentary on MJ last year, like I'm team MJ. Like he's the greatest, like, he's really the best. So
I know it's a tough debate, but I know I agree with you. That Last Dance documentary is unreal. Yeah,
it was so good. I just saw it the other day. It was like the anniversary of like the last 2 episodes were released.
Right.
Like, it's already been a year, but like it was incredible to hear his journey, like everything, because I didn't know like how tough it was, being
no doubt. Yeah. 100%. One question for me, actually, I'll send it to Tom. Go, Tom.
Yeah, no, we got to talk about the iced coffee. Like,
yes.
I'm just really getting into I've drank coffee the last several years, but the iced coffee has been relatively new to me. And I've tried like the Starbucks, almond milk. You get like the vanilla cream cold brew, whatever all that stuff is. Like, I'm just getting into it now. Like, what do you take in your coffee?
So you go to Greece every summer and you don't drink the iced coffee there?
Well, no, I've just started. I was there 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I had iced coffees there. But no, I'm more of a warm coffee drinker, but now I'm starting to get into the iced ones.
Okay, well, I'll tell you exactly. When you go to Greece, you ask for a Freddo espresso.
Okay.
And then if you need a little milk or sugar, you do that. But it's really like the best coffee I've ever had. So that is my favorite. There's actually a place, you'll have to ask Dawson because he knows, but there's a place in Sudbury that has it, Freddo espresso.
Okay. Good to know. Okay, we'll ask Doss for that.
Black toast is good.
What do you take in your coffee? Is it you go straight or you add some sugar and milk?
Yeah, I add like a little bit of almond milk.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tommy. Yeah.
No, it's okay.
But yeah, that's like my go-to. I'm not really picky where, like Salute, Timmy's, Starbucks,
Yeah.
like I'll drink anything. So
Love it. Love it. And one more thing before we get into our one segment we do here. You mentioned anniversaries. It's actually the anniversary of the shot from Kawhi. Are you a big Raptors fan? Because Dawson sent me your cameo from Jack Armstrong. So
Yeah.
big Raps fan?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like obviously Lakers for LeBron, but huge Raptors fan, especially after that shot and them winning that year. Like I'm just a huge Raptors fan. But yeah, how cool is that video? It was pretty awesome.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's singing happy birthday to Sam Cooper. It's unreal.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a pretty good birthday gift. Yeah.
No kidding. Love it. Love it. Okay, we're gonna send it off. So this is our segment. It's the Fast Five. So it's 5 rapid fire questions. Whatever comes to your head first, let it fly. And I will send it to Tom. Go ahead.
Okay, so first question. If you were to go pro in any other sport, what would it be?
Volleyball.
Volleyball. Okay. Favorite movie?
The Blind Side.
Oh, okay. Dream travel destination where you haven't been yet?
That's a good one. I'd like to go to like the Greek islands because I wasn't able to visit those when I was there.
Okay, okay. Okay, this one's gonna be good. Who's smarter, you or your brother?
I'll say Tyler.
Okay, okay. And then your favorite Sudbury restaurant?
Respect is burning.
Nice. The Fang. Love it. That's 2 now.
Yeah,
Good
2
stuff.
votes.
Awesome. Good stuff. Well, Sam, listen, thank you for coming on to the pod and sharing your story. This is what we love to do, see what people are up to and doing great things. I would say, I think we all agree you're a pioneer for women's basketball in Sudbury. Not many people have gone on the pathway you have. So, and we've seen girls our age starting to take their talents. There's a couple of people that are actually playing D1 right now. So again, thank you for coming on. It's been a blast and we'd love to have you on again. So thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It was a blast. So I'll see you in the summer, I guess, especially you, Tommy, for our little 3-point.
Yes.
Love it. Love it.